Well, I wanted to start another permaculture video. It's just some observations and some things to do. And I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it's actually quite windy. In addition to being a deep forage route, there's always that constant wind. But I just wanted to show you that in this area right here, I actually had a bunch of twigs and other material that I had covered up with some grass, that I had pulled out, when I was changing the landscape contour. Where I actually moved it because it was, I was trying to use it as mulch, sheet mulch in that area, it was just so desiccated, so dry. And so what I actually did was I decided to come over here and make a little hugel mound or hugelkultur. And so you can see it, like just all the twigs that were given to me by a friend, and I just with a little hatchet and some spare time, broke them all up. Because I get a lot of spare time at the moment, and so you can also see one of my rain barrels over there, and so I've just wetted down the hugel mound at the moment, and I'll eventually cover it with some soil. And hopefully, as you can see, just in the shade of this pear tree, just because, let me just change direction over here, so that this is facing north, and it was just receiving, that pile was just receiving a lot of sun and just desiccating. And if you have it over here now, you can see just in the afternoon, during the hottest part of the day, it's going to be in the shade, and it hopefully will retain more moisture. And so, can then again, like later, then pull it off or do something with it, like in a year or two. When the wood is more broken down, use it as a, like to hold more moisture in the ground, in the other projects. So, yeah, just quick glance around over there at their projects, how they're going. But yeah, I'm gonna eventually cover this with, hopefully in the next video it'll be covered with dirt and possibly have some seeds in it. And I was planning to use alfalfa and vetch as, just something to, add additional nitrogen, because there's a ton of carbon in there, just in the wood, and there's also a couple cardboard boxes in there that I was also going to compost, and just hopefully the nitrogen fixing plants in the vetch and alfalfa will then give it enough nitrogen to just help it, process it along and stuff like that. And so I would like to use the rest of my rainwater in that rain barrel over there, but I'm running quite low and I wanted to use it on some of the trees instead. So yeah, unfortunately there's no rain, and last of the rainwater is probably going to go to the trees to help establish their roots. Okay, this is the finished hugel mound or hugelkultur, and that I just covered it with dirt, that I had from another project in the sunken bed garden, and I just put mimosa seeds in there as well, because I think the mimosa trees in the nitrogen fixing family, along with vetch and alfalfa. So hopefully, in a year and a half, it'll have really composted degraded the wood chips and wood pieces that were in there. So just a lot of wood. And yeah, as you can see, it's partially shaded, by the wall in the morning, and then hopefully by the midday it'll have some sun. Yeah, a little bit, so it'll probably dry out, and then in the afternoon it should be shaded by the tree. So still going, and we'll see how it goes. It looks like a giant unsightly turd, next to the compost pile. It reminds me of the Jurassic Park movie where they had the sick Tyrannosaurus, the sick Triceratops, and they were playing in this giant poo, and I'm just like, man, it's a good thing my brother is pretty cool with allowing me to mess around with the backyard and experiment with various things, to see if this works. I don't know if anyone else would approve of having a giant dirt pile in their backyard,